Okay, well, see, now I want to know.
Yeah.
They've done their thing. Well, I hope they get a plus defender out of the draft, but they won't, probably.
Dork.
Who would you like to see them? We've talked about who we think they're getting.
Yeah.
Who do you want them to get?
I'm on Acuff.
Yeah?
That's what I'd like to see them do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, my question has always been, if Acuff and Flemings go 5-6, then what do they do?
If Acuff and Flemings were to go,
along with the first four that we project or suspect.
Yeah. I think if Acuff and Flemings go, well, that means it's Wagler or Brown,
right?
I would think. Wagler, Brown, or you said Flemings. I don't think Wagler's going to fall. Of all the ones,
then they're safe.
I don't think Wagler's going to fall.
Then Flemings or Acuff will be there.
Yeah, then Fleming. That's the thing. I think it's going to be Flemings or Acuff. Or Acuff is Flemings. Flemings is Acuff. And the only way is if the Nets. A lot of the mocks now have the Nets taking either Flemings or Mikael Brown Jr. at 6. Weirdly now it's like I have my issues and the things I'm afraid of with Acuff, but also there's a part of me that goes, man, he has to have heard all this crap about his defense. So, is he going to get, a little fire in his belly?
Right. And
come in to try to prove. But those comments he made to Draymond Green did not excite me when he was talking about, I'll guard my matchup. I don't want to guard, what?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, look, they got bigger issues defensively than just who they're drafting. They got to really work on this as concepts as a team, but certainly as individual pieces. But, do you think they would be better off if they had what would be deemed a better defender, but not as good of an offensive player? I guess your answer would be yes in the draft pick.
Do I think what now?
If the draft pick, I'll just pick another guard, is a better defender,
yeah,
but not nearly as good offensively, would they be better? Maybe in the short term.
I think you got to. I try to award points to different. How I rate players against each other is all award point. It's why I thought Wemby was the MVP, because whereas Shea was better than him offensively, I thought Wemby was more better than him by a further amount defensively. So, are there other players that may, as a total, I would rate better than Acuff at that position, whether it's Flemings or whomever? Yeah. But also then the argument is, would you rather have somebody who's an overall better player? I'm talking about, points for each category, or is it better to have the guy that's the specialist?
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, usually it is the specialist. I want, like Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is not an offensive juggernaut, but he does one thing really, really well, and that's protect the paint. I'd rather have that than if Rudy was just, instead of being a 10 on defense and let's call it a 4 on offense, I'd rather have him be the 10 on defense than have him be a 7 and a 7, or even an 8 and a 7, ultimately. I just keep going back to the fact that no matter who wins it, and I know we're so far away from the NBA Finals, but again, you gotta start somewhere. They all are generally exceptional defensive teams. And the fact that the Knicks won, and the fact that Scott Perry was the one that started the teardown of the previous Knicks team when they were in cap hell and really set the table for Leon Rose, if you will, I think it's way too easy to make a connection, just human nature, that, okay, Scott went in, took over the Knicks, had all kinds of cap issues, Carmelo Anthony and different guys that he had to move on, Porzingis. So you go and you get Jalen Brunson, and then you add OG Anunoby, defense, Josh Hart, defense, Mikal Bridges, one of the best wing defenders in the game. And by the way, Karl Anthony Towns isn't Mr. Defense, but he's also 7 foot plus. He can block shots. And you have Mitchell Robinson, who I believe Perry drafted behind him to come in, who can play defense. I think it's only natural to make that connection with the Kings now and saying, okay, here he comes into a team that is in cap hell. He's starting the process of ridding them of those cap issues, and he's going to grab his Jalen Brunson, which in this case is Darius Acuff, and then the idea would be to build a Knicks-style defensive team around Acuff.
Yeah, and then when they did that, you look at all the pieces along the way, like Bridges was just basically mortgaging a bunch of picks for the future. They had assets in Barrett and Quickly that helped them get OG Anunoby. They had assets in Randall and DiVincenzo that helped them get Karl Anthony Towns. So, the Kings, I think, have some of these assets. It's just part of the problem is their contracts are so large in Sabonis and Levine. But can they turn those guys into some of those future pieces?
So if Sabonis and Levine are your, Carmelo Anthony's and Kristaps Porzingis, I'm talking contract-wise, not player-wise. One thing that's got me kind of stymied because this happened on the new watch. Who is the Knicks comp for Keegan Murray? Are we saying that's our Mikal Bridges?
I mean, I guess potentially, but I mean, Keegan to me is now back. He's gone backwards, not by his fault, but with injury. Like last year was supposed to really be like that breakout year. Now that Fox was gone, can we see Keegan be? Remember, we asked him immediately. Do you ever think that you could be the number one option? I don't know that he would have been on the team,
right?
But while there were some injuries, there could have been a stretch there where they really featured him, and he hasn't played like that kind of player. But what would he look like? And so now I think. Last year was unfortunate. Keegan didn't get to play that much, but he has to take a jump. He's getting a jump financially with his contract extension, but he can't just be, hey, he's a guy on the team. He needs to be closer to a dude on this team that's really making something happen.
Well, to your point, Keegan Murray makes $24 million next year, 26 the year after, 27 the year after, 30 the year after.
I mean, it's not an absurd amount, but he's jumped up.
He has jumped up.
Yeah.
And as we've seen with Zach LaVine, let me ask you something about Zach. And
if Zach was making 24, we feel differently about it.
I was just going to say that. Zach is not liked by this Kings fan base for the most part. And my thing is all right, other than getting injured, what has Zach LaVine done to piss off the fan base? I know there was the thing with the season ticket holder. Yeah. I don't. Does he really? And I mean, he said with us, I think I'm underpaid.
Yeah.
Well,
he's caught in the contract, being traded for De'Aaron.
Yeah.
Results.
But what of that? Yeah, the results is the problem. But has Zach come out? Has he come out and said anything objectionable about this team? Do we think he's lollygagging?
Well, sometimes I'm speaking for the fans that may feel this way. I don't know entirely. I feel like if you compare Zach and let's say DeMar DeRozan. One, the production's been a little bit different and more consistent with DeMar. Two, the contract's different. Is it a body language thing? And that's dangerous always to try to read body language, but it just doesn't appear like Zach is always going 100%. And that I could be entirely wrong.
Do we feel that way if he's making $7 million a year? Is what I wonder.
I don't know.
I don't either. Because with Keegan, everybody adores Keegan, and they should. He seems like a great guy, what we know of him.
Yeah.
And I think that actually goes a long way. Because I think if Keegan Murray had a different personality, I think he would take a lot more crap in this town.
Right.
A lot more crap in this town.
I mean, I think you could there's even studies on different things in characteristics, but likability is up there. And Keegan's likable.
Very likable.
And I'm not saying Zach's not.
Sure.
But Keegan is likable.
I think that whole thing though is very much. I don't know if there's another year of that. If Keegan Murray goes out this year and either is injured again or is average or below average from his averages, I think the fan base turns on Keegan Murray.
Oh, you know how this works. You're right. Let's say in this offseason, somehow they parted ways with Zach, parted ways with Sabonis, no matter what comes back. And they're the same record as last year, which was 22 wins? Mm-hmm. Keegan's the target.
Absolutely.
Whether it's his fault or not, he's the longest tenured King at that point.
Yeah.
Why are they struggling?
Right.
It's Fox. Everybody's gotten it at some point.
Everybody's gotten it at some point. I mean, imagine Sabonis getting it now where it's crap, man. Remember when he came over from Indiana and winning all the rebounding? Like, we turn on players.
Yeah, Sabonis could have like a return to all-star form, and they win. I'll give him a few more wins, 35 games.
Yeah.
And he's rebound champion. He's
Yeah.
like, but you can't win with him.
Yeah, sucks in the
they'll be done
playoffs.
with him.
Doesn't have a bag.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember a time, actually it came up on memories over the weekend, where I got absolutely killed for saying the Kings have to trade De'Aaron Fox. And I was looking at some of those comments in there, too. Holy crap, man. Like, the quickness this city turned on Fox. By the way, the other one that came up the other day was when he voiced the whole, nobody believes in the Kings. I want to win here. That whole video they did for the season starting or whatever. Or no, wasn't it for like ESPN or Anscape or something where he did the voiceover for the video talking about how nobody cares about Sacramento and he's going to change that and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, and people were just like, oh my God, we finally got a star who wants to be here. He's a stud. He's the fastest guy in the NBA. Fox. And we played the audio last week from the draft party when the roof came off the place. Point being, pretty much doesn't matter who you are. At some point in this town, unless, you're the 2002 Kings, and it's not unique to Sacramento, by the way, either. So I think it is. I think Keegan Murray, in a perfect scenario, that is the Mikal Bridges. That I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that's who that archetype would be. By the way, somebody said in the chat, did I say Brunson was drafted by the Knicks? If I did, I'm sorry. No, he was a second rounder out of Dallas.
Yeah.
And then they signed him as the free agent. Also, taking the pay cut didn't hurt either.
Right.
For them as well. So
yeah, I didn't hear you say that.
No, I don't remember saying that. As far as draft odds go, Jason, you've got the updated ones down here.
I would say, though, turning on Kings is very rare.
Well,
I don't think that's a...
Cousins got turned on. And by the way, I'm not saying these are justified or not. Like, I get a lot of this.
Did he get turned? I believe people were done with him while he was still here. People weren't upset that he got...
No. I'm talking about when they're here as well. I'm talking
isn't that turning on him?
Yeah, they turned on him when he was here.
Yeah, but it's not like he left and then Kings fans are like, oh, so you're going to go to a new place. Now we don't like you.
You're talking about like Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, but people were turning
on Halliburton.
But people were turning on Fox before. People turned on Fox.
Yeah. They hadn't turned on Halliburton here.
They had not turned on Halliburton here.
After the fact.
Jason Thompson got turned on.
How'd that happen?
Barnes.
How did Jason? Okay. Barnes got turned on. You're absolutely right. Healed absolutely did. Jimmer did. I mean, again, I understand there's reasons.
Did Jimmer really get turned on, or were people just like
he's
not?
Stauskas got turned on, which deservedly so. Rudy got turned on.
He did.
I forgot about that. Rudy Gay got turned on.
I don't think Isaiah ever did.
No, I don't either. Also, this sounds weird.
Rudy was a weird one.
Yeah, he was.
I would say Rudy is like the Levine thing. If like Levine was healthy and doing well, like Rudy Gay didn't pick the contract. Rudy Gay didn't choose to get traded here.
He was actually a really good player here. Just they weren't very good.
Well, that's what we've talked about with Zach. It's like Zach is such an enigma because it's the contract that is 90% of the reason why he gets crap.
Well, and then like you don't really hear from him a lot.
No, you don't. But I'm sure he reads this stuff or hears about it. It's like, what am I supposed to freaking say, man? Look, I get it, and I want
acting all hoity-toity in your Seattle.
Did you see some of the people like Grok? He was with I think it was his wife, but like Grok and ChatGPT and all that. You saw all these people like she is which she wasn't, and she's there with just some dude. Like a lot.
AI got it wrong.
Yeah, shockingly.
That's first.
Yeah, that is a first. But yeah, he was there in the box at the World Cup, and he can't opt out now. He needs that $50 million.
He probably had to put it on PayPal Pay for.
Yes, I can. Yes, he Venmo'd it. We'll take a break when we come back. What's on deck? Live.